And a beautiful good morning to you, dear souls. It's me, Kathryn Gorman Lovelady, and I am a director of Moonstar Lodge. And I'm in a gentle headspace for once on this December 29th of 2020, and it's a full moon day. In fact, the moon becomes full tonight at 10:28 p.m. So we're actually getting this video done ahead of schedule. So I want to make this a peaceful, gentle discussion so that there's clarity and depth. I pulled some cards ahead of time here to just give myself some direction. And I'm going to take a moment and turn down my music here because I had some native music on, but it's distracting me. There we go. So I decided to pull out one of my Lenormand decks that I very much love. It's called the Lunar Nomad. It's by Shaheen Miro, and I like it because he deals very beautifully with the shadow. A lot of people are scared by the concept of shadow, but if you think of the symbol, the Eastern symbol of yin and yang, a white teardrop against a black teardrop, you can't see the white, you can't see the light side without the darkness of the shadow self. And shadow, from a Buddhist perspective, needs to be embraced and given love and compassion. That causes it to shrink and not keep rearing its head like a toddler trying to get our attention. So a number of things came up with Shaheen's lovely message. I got the woman, card 29. Yes, of course, I am a woman. I didn't pull this as a querent card, but to remind myself or ask who was guiding us today, and that's a female ancestor. The second card is Seer, so yes, good choice. I am working as a seer. And Lotus. So these cards were for me, and this is about self-care, reflection, meditation, the aspects that we need to use as the foundation. And so I call on my ancestors, as I mentioned at the winter solstice. This is the time of connecting with ancestors. This is the time of connecting with the divine. And I want to throw in a little solar astrology and a little lunar astrology today. So I've lost my pointer. I'll use a dowsing rod. Nope, there's my pointer. Okay. So we're past winter solstice here, and we're moving to the midpoint of the first moon cycle. The first moon cycle of 2021, as I mentioned in the previous video. However, in terms of how we think in the Gregorian calendar, this is the end of 2020, the last full moon of 2020, if you follow the solar calendar and the Gregorian calendar. So today's full moon at 10:28 p.m. is in the sign of Cancer in solar astrology, which is about home and heart. Of course, Cancer is a water sign, and it's about emotions, and it's very much the mother energy. And yet, in solar astrology, we're in the sign of Capricorn, the goat, who's an earth sign. So we're looking at the balance between, the dance between the lunar and the solar astrology here. It's an important time because in the indigenous calendar, as the first new moon of 2021, we're still in the time of talks with relations. And of course, as I mentioned in that previous video, go back and watch the winter solstice video. It might help clarify some of the things I'm saying today. We're talking with relations because we're huddled in our longhouse or our home or whatever you call home. And we can't do much outside except a little playful stuff, but we're not spending the bulk of the day outside harvesting and looking after animals and going to work and that sort of thing. We're home. And the pandemic of this year, with everything locked down, is causing us to be with relations. We have to remember that it isn't just our physical family, our human family that we're talking with. We are, in this time of reflection, as we come to the end of one very difficult year, we are also being asked to connect with our ancestors, the star people, the ones who have these long nights so that they're visible to us. Solstice, of course, is the longest night, but the nights are still very, very long and very cold. So we can see them. They shine brightly. The atmosphere allows for that. So our ancestors, the veil is still very thin. It isn't just thin at Halloween. It's thin right now. And this energy of moving into the age of Aquarius, as some people feel we are doing, is really, really beneficial. So here we are. We're in this time of white buffalo and night and winter and deep cold and providing everything we need. The sound of scuffling that you hear is my little three-legged pal, Ode Munido, very gleefully participating in today's reading. Anyway, I pulled some cards about what it is we need to focus on. And by the way, Brian is going to join us here for a little on-camera dosing of questions that I will put to him. He doesn't know those questions yet, but I'm sure he can anticipate. And we have Jorge, the skull, here. I would have liked to put a party hat, but he protested. I have a beautiful amethyst pyramid here. So I've pulled in all kinds of energies for today. So the first card I pulled was the Nine of Pentacles. Pentacles represents coins in some decks, but it's about very much what we have acquired, what we've done in this earthly walk, what we've pulled together. And the Nine of Pentacles in this case means that we can very much be proud of what we've completed in this year, all the things we've brought to ourselves, both in a material sense and in a non-material sense. The second card, this is the anchor card of the reading, by the way, and the second card is the Five of Pentacles in the protection position. And what you can see is a broken pearl necklace and a broken diamond. This is about recognizing it's in the protection position to remind us not to focus on things we've lost, especially things that appear to be external. We've not lost our soul. Our soul is intrinsic. We have it as the divine expression of source. Call it God, call it the universe, call it the great mystery. So we need to stay focused on what we have managed to acquire, not focus on the things external to us that we think we've lost. The third card in the pull, this is from the Naked Heart deck, is a gazelle. It's the Eight of Wands. This is about energy. The energy, the fire in the belly. Spirit is going to send us a flow of energy. Think of flow. We are in this flow with this full moon. Like the flow, like water flows. It flows. My grandmother used to tell me not to turn and try to push the river. If we go with this flow of energy, we can co-create magnificent things in this full moon as we head into New Year's Eve and moving into the remainder of this moon cycle. So the remainder of this moon cycle covers the Gregorian New Year's of January 1st. So we're about looking ahead, not looking at loss. We haven't lost anything. We haven't lost our freedom. We might have lost some money, lost a job, have worries, but what we focus on, we manifest. The last card of this pull is the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is about working to achieve our goals, but it's in the protection position. So we need to remind ourselves that if we work in the way of right relationship, going with the flow, we will continue to manifest and return to a place of personal achievement at all levels, physically, emotionally, intellectually, and finally spiritually. That's all that the Creator asks of us at any time, is to go with the flow and to expand beyond the worries and fears imposed on us by ego about this dimension. This is not a permanent dimension. This is an impermanent dimension. Things change and things flow. So I pulled some cards also, as I usually do, from the Judith Pintar deck, cards of winds and changes. And about tonight through the new year, it's about vision, seeing what can be. It's two leaves, looks like acorn leaves, and one is visioning with the light. So the rituals in self-care called for in the cards I pulled for myself. The rituals in full care are about sitting with the visions. Manifesting is a unfortunate Kleenex kind of word. It's overused, and it implies manifesting from the point of view of what we can acquire, physical things, these kinds of external physical things. But manifesting is really about an internal growth paradigm. And we either go with the flow and make it happen, because everything starts in the imaginal clairvoyance, the imaginal consciousness. So the Creator is asking us, the ancestors, are asking us to vision. And what we vision now, we will have manifested by the south of the wheel. Remember, I talked about the opposite position? What we plant in the ground, the fertile ground of spirit, manifests by down here. The all that is the card of the east. The all that is as above, so below. So make sure that you're including the family. We talked about all my relations, not just your physical family, but above and below. So you're incorporating into the self. What we get if we do that in the here and now is the all that is. Keep asking yourself right now, am I safe today? Am I okay today? Am I in trouble today? If not, do the self-care thing that moves, that flows away from that particular thought. Get into a co-creative thing. What comes of it all is being in the moment and incarnation, the creating of the new thing that's coming down here. Very important. So people really enjoyed that I pulled from the shaman oracle last time. And as a practicing shaman, I enjoy seeing the shamanic practices of our brothers and sisters from different cultures. So I asked of the Creator to help me pull cards that reflect what is good for this full moon day. And I got Wild Woman. Tongue firmly held in my cheek. I love it. I love it. We have to let those things that we feel have been compressed and suppressed within us for so long, all these many, many difficult months of COVID, we have to remember them and let them out. This is the energy of wands. It's exactly the same fire in the belly. This is about co-creative perspectives with all of our whole being. We are doing this because of the completion. This is an image of the snake biting its tail. Snake for us is here. Snake is here because it is the completion, the balancing of the whole year. So we are completing the end of one cycle and moving into a brand new, beautiful cycle. We technically, from an indigenous perspective, are just in the first few days of that beautiful new cycle, but it is the new. What do we need to help make it flow? The magic. Absolutely. Could not. Gives me shivers telling you this. And who needs to be our partner in the magic? The upper world, the ancestors, the Creator. You can't make this stuff up, kids. You just can't. It's just so beautiful and so peaceful. And actually, when I first pulled these cards from the Naked Heart, I thought, ooh, I don't like this. And then I had to sit with it and think. I had to get away from the superficial and dig deep. And with a little help from the authors and what have you, it reminded me this is so perfect. It couldn't be a better reading. I love it. So I'm going to invite Brian to this side of the camera and ask him to douse for us a few yes and no's, and he can explain dowsing. This is not a response to ideomotor effect, which is the body shaking. It can't happen that way. And he can explain why.
So the way I have made these rods, there is virtually no friction at this point. So I can't make that rod go if I want to physically. So when the question is asked and I get a response from Spirit, if it's yes, then they'll cross. If the answer is no, they will fall away. And of course, if it's shouting yes, bold, underlined, capital, it will continue to come back.
So my questions for Spirit, so that people can see the answers, it's not just me babbling on. Is tonight the appropriate night to do ritual?
Screaming yes.
Is it better to wait until New Year's Eve?
No.
Watch the glasses there, they're pricey. All right. Can we take some gentle time between now and the next new moon to continue talking with our relations?
Yes.
Do we have anything to fear from 2021?
No.
Is it because we create our reality?
Yes.
And is that a collective reality?
Yes.
And is it an individual reality?
Right.
More so. In fact, that was
Right.
we as individuals, one person at a time. I think that's good enough. Thank you. Go back to your technical duties there. So people always ask me if I fail to mention crystals for tonight's dreaming with the wheel. And sometimes I fail to mention them, but I'm going to make a point of mentioning them. So you'll notice that I've chosen black and red, the most grounding colors. My jewelry is full of black stones, and I love my jewelry, but I'm not just, a jewelry camel that's got to weigh myself down with it. I very specifically choose the stones, the quartz, the black spinel, the tourmaline. All these things reflect grounding. But when I do my rituals tonight, I will also incorporate those stones that reflect the highest end. So this is the lowest end of the chakra spectrum. And in indigenous culture, the highest end includes stones like apophyllite. This is a cluster apophyllite in phrenite. I will include purple, green, or rainbow fluorite, because fluorite has the crown chakra stone, but it also has green. So it is for thinking through the heart and feeling through the mind. I will breathe 4 deep breaths, holding a crystal in my left receptive hand. There is a cardiac meridian here. The energy flows into my heart space. And I will breathe 4 times. Not just the breath into my chest, but breathing down and connecting into this crystal. It might not be this exact crystal, but I will know at the time. Other stones that you can use tonight are lepidolite, iolite, amethyst, clear quartz, opal, and as I mentioned, the apophyllite, as well as all the grounding stones, onyx, hematite, black tourmaline, obsidian, shungite. Those kinds of stones are very, very helpful for doing a ritual. Take some time today. Pull your objects out. Make a bundle. I always have table space, a little altar space of things. Make sure you have some sage. Make sure you have some candles. But the magic that you do is up to you. Your personal sacred objects, as many as you need, should be in your space tonight. You don't have to tell the Creator, your guides and teachers, the ancestors, you don't have to tell them how to manifest. You just say, this is what I am dreaming for. Thank you for making it so. It is. It is. And I am. So I think that's enough of a message for today, and I will return with some more medicine wheel teachings in the next week, and a new moon teaching for around about the 11th of January. And be kind to yourselves this Gregorian New Year's and this beautiful Talks with Relations full moon. Miigwech, Nyawen, Aho.